There's a moment in every life when hope doesn't just fade, it disappears completely. When the silence becomes so loud that it drowns out everything else. When even your own heartbeat feels like a question you no longer have the strength to answer. You start to wonder, will light ever find its way back to me? If you're listening to this right now, feeling like hope has abandoned you, this story is for you. Because sometimes, the darkest moments are where hope learns to shine brightest. Sarah wasn't always lost. In fact, she was the kind of person who made others believe that light never left. She had this warmth, the kind that could fill a room just by showing up. Friends came to her when their hearts were heavy, because somehow she always knew what to say. She believed in silver linings, in divine timing, in the quiet beauty of things falling into place. But within just 6 months, everything she built began to crumble. Her marriage ended without warning, not in flames but in silence. Her job disappeared soon after, a short email, a polite goodbye, and suddenly her stability was gone. Then came her health, small symptoms at first, then exhaustion, anxiety, and days when even breathing felt heavy. She tried to hold it together, but the walls kept closing in. And the woman who once carried everyone else couldn't carry herself anymore. Each morning, she'd wake up with a single thought. How will I survive today? The words that used to comfort others now tasted like lies. Everything happens for a reason, she used to say. But what reason could justify this kind of emptiness? Sarah stopped answering calls. She deleted old photos because they felt like ghosts of a life she no longer belonged to. The days blurred together, an endless loop of numb mornings and sleepless nights. She'd stare at the ceiling, whispering prayers that never seemed to echo back. Just show me a sign, she'd say, anything. But there was only silence. And in that silence, she began to believe that maybe hope had truly abandoned her. 3 months into her darkest season, something strange happened. Sarah found herself sitting in a park at dawn. Not because she wanted inspiration, not because she believed a new day would fix anything, but because she couldn't sleep and she had nowhere else to go. The world was quiet. Cold air brushed against her face as the horizon slowly began to breathe light. And then she saw it. The sunrise. It wasn't spectacular that morning. No dramatic colors, no golden flare. Just a soft, steady glow pushing through a blanket of gray. But that simplicity, that quiet persistence, broke something open in her. Every morning, no matter how dark the night before, the sun rose. Not because it felt like it. Not because someone asked it to. Not because the sky was clear. It rose simply because that's what it does. And in that fragile dawn, Sarah realized something life-changing. Hope isn't something we wait for. It's something that rises even when we can't see it. For so long, Sarah had been waiting to feel hopeful again. For that familiar warmth in her chest, that certainty that things would get better. But the sunrise taught her that real hope doesn't need to feel good to be real. It doesn't promise that everything will be okay. It simply whispers, take one more breath, one more step, one more day. She began to notice small things again. The sound of birds before dawn. The smell of coffee. The way strangers still smiled, even when the world felt heavy. This new hope was different. It didn't erase her pain, but it sat with her through it. It didn't fix her life, but it gave her strength to live it. You see, we often mistake hope for optimism. Optimism says, everything will work out. Hope says, even if it doesn't, I'll find a way through. When hope feels lost, it's usually because we're searching for guarantees. For certainty, for happy endings, for the version of ourselves who used to believe without question. But true hope is the quiet voice that says, not yet, when everything in you wants to give up. It's the steady pulse beneath your fear. the gentle breath that keeps you alive when everything feels lifeless. Hope isn't found in the light. Hope is the light, the one we carry inside, even when we forget it's there. If you're listening to this right now and hope feels gone, I want you to remember something. You are hope. Your ability to feel this deeply, to ache, to question, to keep listening even when your heart is tired. That is hope in motion. You don't have to feel hopeful to be hope. You don't need all the answers to be the question that changes everything. You don't need to see the light to be the light for someone else. Sometimes hope goes quiet, not because it's gone, but because it's transforming into something stronger, something no circumstance can destroy. Sarah didn't rebuild her life overnight. Her problems didn't disappear, but she started showing up again. For herself, for others, for the sunrise. She found peace in progress, not perfection. And slowly, she began helping others who were lost in their own darkness. She didn't offer false promises or easy advice. She simply sat beside them in silence and reminded them that they weren't alone. You are not forgotten, you are not broken, and hope never truly leaves. It just sometimes goes quiet, so that you can finally hear your own strength. If this story found you today, if it reached the place you've been trying to hide from the world, then you're exactly where you're meant to be. Let that be enough. Let this be your sunrise. And when tomorrow comes, even if it's cloudy, remember, the sun always rises, and so will you. Subscribe to the Tales Beyond Word, and let's keep walking this healing journey together.